season. How does it feel going into the second game when you're coming off of a loss like that?
From our game yesterday?
Well, I'm just talking about in general and playing esports.
I feel like you get a hold on to what you're doing. The first time, you're pretty nervous. It's your first game. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you guys are going to do in, like, that kind of real thing compared to, like, practicing. The second time around, you still have that feel about it because it's a little stressful, I guess. But after that, you just get used to it after a while, and just you get in, you have fun,
Right.
try your best.
Right. I mean, that's always the goal. But I think maybe having a sense of what really works and what doesn't outside of practice, because practice is its own kind of environment, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's its own thing.
Yeah, for sure. So as we go into this League of Legends game here, we're looking at a pretty solid team in Elizabethtown. We're just waiting for the lobby to queue up here, and then we'll get into the game. Just a little information about this match. These are best 3 of 5. So we're in for the long haul here. You're definitely going to know which team is the better team by the end of this match. What's it like to play a long match like that, Clay?
Oh, I mean, I don't know personally this game, but long matches of a game, like, really wear you down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, man, can't wait for this to end kind of a thing.
Right.
Because after a while, it just kind of gets annoying, I guess, kind of thing about it.
Yeah. I think also there's just a matter of like mental and physical exhaustion.
Yes.
All right, looks like we are entering the draft phase for the game. So if you don't know much about League of Legends, basically it's a game where there's a ton of different characters with different skill sets that the players can choose to play. It's a 5v5 match played in the same map every game. The goal is to reach the opponent's base and destroy their core, the central building that they have.
Yeah.
So right now they're in this phase called the banning phase. They're basically trying to ban characters that they don't want the other team playing. Now there's 2 ways that you make this decision. One is banning out characters that the other team likes to play. So, for example, maybe they're very good at Mordekaiser, for example. Okay, so you're going to deny them the Mordekaiser pick. The other reason you ban is meta reasons. Certain characters are kind of too powerful right now based on the balancing of the game, and so you just have to get them out of here so you don't have to deal with that, and you can play a slightly more even, balanced game with characters who haven't been banned.
So, Tyler, what are we looking at with the little pictures on the sides?
So these are the abilities that are being chosen by the quote-unquote the summoners, the players. Basically, every character has their own set of unique abilities, but also there are these sort of generic abilities that everyone has access to that they have to pick, kind of commit themselves to at the start of the game. So if we look here at Ari, I believe we have Flash here. Flash is a pretty common pick. It's a teleport. On I think a pretty lengthy timer, but when you're in a really bad situation, it's a good way to get out of it. And if you're really risky, you can teleport into the enemy as well. Not always a great decision, but sometimes being risky is rewarded. We have a few other abilities being picked here. I believe this is Flare. It's just basically a damage ability that we see on Senna and Zoe, for example. You're going to see different players taking different abilities based on their play style, what they're good at, what they're bad at. Also trying to synergize with some of the things that particular character wants to do. So, we enter another banning phase. Now that each team has picked 3 characters, you're starting to get a sense of the strategy that the other team is trying to, pick up on. And so by banning certain characters, you cut out key parts of that strategy, making it harder for them to do what they want to do. So part of the sort of mini game within drafting, I don't know how much drafting you do in various games, Clay, but you can kind of signal that you're going to do one thing with those first 3 picks, and then actually you're doing another, so you get the other team to waste their ban choices. Oh, hey, so we got some information on the chat here. Looks like there's been a change to the league. They changed it to best 2 of 3, which is great. When we think about league games, these can go upwards of 30 or 40 minutes each. It's a long slog for a team of league players. So moving from best 3 of 5 to 2 of 3 is definitely going to be a little easier on them in terms of the endurance element of the match. Zogstar, by the way, is the one of the coaches here. He's very heavily involved with the shoutcasting program here at Penn Manor. He also is very heavily involved with League of Legends. He's been helping to coach there. So, he's definitely sort of a informational link. He wasn't able to be with us here. Normally, he is your caster. You're probably used to hearing his voice, Mr. Scott Herzog on here, but not today. Today, this Tyler and Clay,
Yes.
who primarily are on board with the Overwatch program here at Penn Manor, but we have sufficient experience with League of Legends
A
to be
little
your
bit, yeah.
guides. Not a little bit. I'm going to overestimate my knowledge and say I have a ton. So let's get into this here. Right now, loadouts are being chosen.
So what are you thinking of? So they had a game last week.
Mm-hmm.
They lost.
Sure.
So what do you think they built from that in like strategy wise when it comes to doing this?
So they were discussing making some changes in terms of roles, who's playing what role, why, and when, and that's something that comes out of trying to, like you said, that first game, you're working out the kinks and you're figuring out who's going to work where and who's not. They had some big team wipes in the last game, and that's a big deal. When your team is getting wiped, that's a massive imbalance in terms of gameplay. And additionally, sometimes things were happening where when I talked with the team later, they didn't know why they had done certain things, and in some cases, these things turned out disastrously. So when you're in a situation where you're making decisions and you don't know why you're making them, you're just kind of acting. That's not the kind of leadership that you need on a team. You need to be making deliberate decisions. And so I think coming into this game, they really need to be thinking about what are we doing, when are we doing it, and why are we doing it. We've talked a little bit about the differences between Overwatch and League of Legends, the two games at the Penn Manor Esports program. And it is Overwatch is fast. It's adrenaline rush. The strategic element is not like huge. It's more tactical than anything. But League of Legends is a strategic game. It's slower. It's more deliberate. Your decisions are operating across an entire map over many, many minutes, and you really your decisions matter, and they have an effect for the rest of the game, which is long.
Yeah, I think it really matters. It's a lot of team work as well when it comes to this. I mean, Overwatch it is too, but this one really relies on people like a lot. Like they got to really call out certain things. They're having trouble calling out when dragons were spawning last time, which there's 4 different ones, and they need to try to get all 4. It helps boost certain things, right? Yeah. So with that, and they also need to really watch out. The last time, the first game, the team got a kill off the bat, which they were getting more gold, and they were able to get a really long head start of them.
Yeah, giving up eliminations like that early on is just putting yourself at a massive disadvantage, and that's where I was talking about playing risky earlier. You got to play defensively, especially if you're not sure about your own capabilities as well as what the other team is capable of. In a tournament like this, you're not matched necessarily with a team that is of exactly the same skill level. There's a lot of variance there, and so you really need to be thoughtful about what you're doing. The other thing we noticed is that their jungle game was needed some help, needed some work. So when we talk about the jungle, you're going to see that shortly. This is basically the center areas of the map, which are not typically touched upon. You can kind of see in this graphic illustration, you'll see the trees there. There's lots of monsters out there, camps that the jungle players basically are working throughout much of the early game. They are trying to get some gold for themselves and then popping out to get some quick, what I call ganks, eliminations in the different lanes, helping out their team and trying to keep the enemy team guessing about where they are. Now, the trouble is when you're the jungler, if you get caught out in the middle of the jungle, there's no one there to help you, and you are in trouble. So that was happening a few times there. They were just struggling to coordinate their ganks, struggling to coordinate, just really making things happen. So we are about to enter the game here, I think. Here we go.
Here we go. Finally
Yeah.
in after a long, long wait.
Clay, does that mean that you weren't enjoying my long
Oh, no, no,
because there's
no.
more time here for us to talk.
Yes. Yes. So, not that. Actually, is that? Yes, it is. So, whatever.
So we're actually getting to see the levels and some of the players here and what they're doing. Final Boss Bowser and Ash 898, some of the more experienced players on the team, and you can tell that by their level. They definitely are leading the team in a lot of ways. We have a very young and one might say somewhat inexperienced League of Legends team. This is their first season together here, and they are learning a ton over the course of the past few weeks as we've been preparing for this tournament, for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And in many ways, Final Boss Bowser and Ash 898 have been the ones leading that educational effort. So, here we are. Find ourselves spawning. The team is going to appear right here. Now this is where they can purchase their items. The items that they purchase, they can upgrade over time, and they can use them to improve their abilities and kind of move in different directions as far as their strengths and weaknesses, kind of interacting with and adapting to what the opposing team is doing. So here we see Akiaru and Ash moving to the bottom lane. Looks a little bit here. Let's get a camera on the jungler here. Okay, so we see Cannon, Akiaru, and Ash all kind of hiding in this grass. They are effectively invisible to anyone who's not in that grass, by the way. So this sets up an opportunity to catch people, to defend themselves. What they're at here, if we could just get the... This is where we're going to see a camp spawn here, and this is ideally where we're going to be helping out the jungler to kind of get their game rolling, taking out a few jungle mobs here and getting some gold, just starting that whole process of getting the jungler set up so they can start helping the lanes when it comes to ganking. Nice and quiet to start. So if we kind of move to the lanes here, we're going to see that we've got the mobs moving through each lane. These are basically going to automatically march down the lane and fight the enemy mobs. The goal for every character in a... we got just a few settings here that we're trying to set up here. So, okay, as I was saying, we got our jungler starting off here. So, again, the goal here is going to be for each summoner here, each character, to try and last hit the enemy mobs. If they score the last hit, oh, here we go. So Wad's here, the jungler, tried to leap out of the shadows and help Oraju get a gank on top lane here. But Final Boss Bowser kind of predicted what was going on. Notice his positioning as well. If we just pop back here, he's kind of hiding on the left-hand side, the upper side of his minions, allowing him to just kind of be safe. Notice how far back he's playing. He's not interested in getting to a fight with Darius here. He just wants to be farming gold, building up his own power here, and not getting ganked by the jungle, who could be anywhere. If we move to the middle lane, something similar is happening here. Party Huntress, basically, typically in this middle lane, we'll see the spell damage characters. Party Huntress just kind of playing in the back lane, building up gold by last hitting the enemy minions and staying out of the range of the abilities of the enemy spellcaster. Down in the bottom lane here, we see the attack damage carry and the supports facing off. And the real goal here, the attack damage carry is typically the character who's going to be winning the game in the late game. Oh, let's pop back over. That's Akiaru. That's a change they made from the last game, I believe. And Ash here is the team support, who's going to try and keep the attack damage carry alive and help the attack damage carry get those last hits, so he has plenty of gold to buy plenty of items to get very powerful. Is that a good breakdown for you there, Clay?
Yeah.
Okay. We see the jungle walking around, just looking for minions to take care of. You're going to notice, he's leveling up a little on the slow side. He's level 3, level 3, level 3, level 4 for top lane here. But remember, there's only one person to be getting, gold and experience for you there. So you're uncontested. We see Darius is pushing up a little close to our towers. Our towers, of course, are these structures that will target enemy heroes when they get nearby. Does a lot of damage up.
Once again, they gotta try to get a kill.
They do.
The good thing about that, they get a pretty good lead on the enemy team, but they also gotta make sure that the enemy team doesn't get a kill on them.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the start of the game's a really big booster for either team.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets that first kill, and then whoever gets usually the first dragon gets a pretty good lead on them, which, I mean, they can definitely come back from it, but... So the enemy team got a kill off.
Sorry, we missed that. Yeah, it looks like we lost Party Huntress in the center here. If we look at what's happening here, we got some damage coming off in the middle here. So the jungle has come out of the jungle basically to try and keep that middle lane contested a little bit. pick up some of the gold, but looks like he's been caught out as well. And that's another kill for middle lane. The man, that magic damage mid lane character has been doing a lot of work for their team. Notice the gold difference at the top here. 6.4k gold has been earned by our team. Elizabethtown has earned 7.8k. Now they were maintaining about 100 more up till those kills, but now they've gone to over 1,000 more. And this is that advantage you were talking about, Clay, where it's going to start to become difficult for us to come back because they're just going to have more and better equipment. Now we see in top lane,
like we might get lucky.
Might get a kill. No, he got back. He got back. And so you can see kind of retreating to your tower is a good way to survive a bad situation. But that Darius is overextending a little bit. And, attack damage, or final boss Bowser, Alex, he is doing a great job of keeping the threat out there and dominating that lane.
Now, looking at also characters when we were talking about differences, we're seeing so far the enemy team has the highest level character. Last time the enemy team got a ridiculous level difference, and that also affects the game pretty well when it comes to that as well.
All right, so let's see what else we got going here. We push them back. So we see some pings happening in this area. The team's trying to communicate to each other about what needs to happen and where. So the team's really starting to spread out, find different areas that they need to be effective in. So we've got, the jungle and the magic damage character in the center here. Final boss Bowser returning from spawn, having healed up a little bit. Taking the long way through. They think they know where the enemy jungle is. They've caught him out, but are they going to be able to get him in time? They've got him trapped, perhaps? Or did he teleport? So he might have used his flash ability to teleport over the wall, in which case he got out of that bad situation. But they have forced him to spend the cooldown. Okay. So Scott is kind of... Okay, there we go. So we're a little newer to spectating for this game, but that's okay. So and there's that first kill for Penn Manor. Again, Final Boss Bowser in control of what's happening on that top lane. Very aware of the map, very aware of where everyone is, making those calls. This is Alex, one of those players whom I said earlier is doing a lot of educating. Returning to mid lane here, we see, again, this sort of duel between Party Huntress and Elizabethtown's magic damage character. We see constantly, it seems like Elizabethtown's coming out ahead in this middle lane here.
One thing they gotta really look out for is their jungler. He needs to really watch out for when certain things spawn. Once again, like dragons, once that spawn, they need to all gang up on it before the other team can get it.
The timing of that's rough, though. It's easy to get caught out, and actually you end up not only losing your team, but also losing the dragon if you're caught out in that way. So here we see the jungler from the enemy team moving in to try and take advantage of this. Oof. Whew. That was all over the place.
Oh, wow.
The prediction. Silent Smiter throwing out an ability that was able to arc over the entirety of the map here, pretty much, and take down Ashe, the support player in the back. This leaves Akiaru very vulnerable. He doesn't have a support. The jungle is nearby. Party Huntress moving down. We see the jungle. Yep, the jungle for Elizabethtown is now with support from. There we go. So Party Huntress teleported in using flash, but far too late and ended up losing a lot. Now we are, that momentum you were talking about, starting to build up here. We got 4 kills for Elizabethtown. They're ahead by over 2K now in gold. This is a deficit that's hard to come back from.
Cannon's really got to try to build up some levels as well. He's a little on the low side compared to everyone else.
So look at him, he's level 5.
Yeah, he can also get killed pretty easily if he doesn't build that up.
Yep, you are right. In fact, if we look across the game, he is the lowest level character now in the match. He really has to take the time to build that back up. But, you know, he's been trying to help situate on mid lane when Party Hunters had that death, and that pulled him out of jungling, so that slows his process down. You can see how every character's choices and their successes and their failures affect everyone else. Ooh. Final Boss Bowser sweeping in and getting a sudden kill on Darius here.
I mean, as of right now, it kind of looks like the game's a little loose when it comes to gold. I mean, they're just like they're 2 kills down right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to give Penn Manor credit. They haven't allowed the momentum to switch back on them too bad. Oh, we see it looks like Party Hunters has been caught out again in a duel that Party Hunters is consistently not winning, especially with a 2-level deficit now against that magic damage character. And let's also note here, that's increasing the amount of experience and gold that this character has access to. So that duel is only becoming more uneven over time. These are a little even here. So now some damage is starting to be put on these structures. As Elizabethtown is able to do more damage to the towers for Penn Manor, they're going to get closer to their central base, which is going to make it a lot harder for them to actually win the game. You start losing territory, it's hard to come back from that. And we can see this magic damage character uncontested in the center while waiting for the respawn. But here comes Cannon on Warwick for that. Oh, the counter jungle. They were ready for it.
They were calling it.
Oh, they still meant the turret takes down the... Ah, wow. Amazing. Their jungle's going to have to retreat.
They got a ton of damage on
They did.
that
They
tower,
did.
though.
You know, you really have to wonder, like, is it worth it? Definitely, the deficit continues to grow here at 3K. We got some more dueling up top here. Definitely top lane is in control. Bottom lane heavily contested. But on the even side overall, 7s all around. Oof, great shot, great shot.
Yeah, it looks like the hardest problem for us right now is mid and jungle.
Yeah, agreed. Flashing away. And there's Party Hunters going down. And now Final Bowser is out of position in a really bad spot. Surely the enemy jungle, yep, he's coming in. Final Bowser knew that was coming, but he had to wonder what was the best way to go here. Which way was the jungle in? And now we
looks
see...
like we got our jungler coming in.
We're coming in for a battle. And they're splitting them up.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Fantastic. Great target selection here.
Yes.
You know, Warwick has advantage against Darius in that kind of a situation, and vice versa. Final Boss Bowser are really strong against that junglers with his crowd control. So you really end up with a situation where they pick their targets excellently, and Elizabethtown had to choose who was going to die, essentially.
Looks like our one tower is going to go down.
Yeah, that is middle tower, and that comes down to the weakness that we're experiencing in mid here. We really just are consistently getting dominated in the space, and now if you look at the level deficit, still 2 levels. It's going to become really significant now. Notice Party Hunter's backing up without the protection of the tower. He's just asking to get ganked by the jungle again if he goes out too far. He's going to use the tower to his advantage, try and get some gold there. Jungler moving around, trying to see if there's anyone to jump. He's just going to grab a camp here.
Looks like we're getting another tower then.
Possibly.
At least half.
Possibly, yeah. So at this point, Clay, what are you thinking? Like you're on this team, you're experiencing this kind of slow downward shift in momentum. We're looking at we're closing in on 4K difference. They've got double the eliminations on us. What are you thinking at this point?
Well, there's another dragon spawning, so
Right.
I mean, they need to really go in on that, but I don't think they're going to really be able to at the moment.
Yep. And here, Warwick,
I
unfortunately...
mean, the beginning of the game really matters because once you start getting that first difference, it just keeps going and just makes it really hard for your team.
So that was rough right there. Quadra kill means we've lost 4 people. What we saw here was the dragon about to spawn, our jungle anticipating it, but the enemy jungle anticipating that anticipation and coming in, popping over the terrain here using flash, backed up by several of his teammates collapsing at the same time, leading that shot call from Elizabethtown's jungler. and basically taking out our jungle. Now, on top of that, we kind of threw good money after bad, where Warwick was gone, and then the rest of our team tried to collapse to help, but they were too late. And they ended up giving up a number of kills as a result. Final Boss Battles are going to try and get some value out of the fact that the entirety of Elizabethtown was down in the bottom half of the map by taking a tower. You got to get something out of that, and Final Boss Battles is going to try and make sure that at least it's a tower.
Once again, I mean, we're kind of doing solid on the top and bottom. It's just like the very midsection.
And the jungle ultimately, who now at level 7, we're looking at level 9, 11 here. That level deficit is growing. Jungle is in my opinion, the hardest role. You have to be
there's
so
a lot.
aware.
There's a lot that they have to watch out for. They have to call out. I mean, the jungle is pretty much a primary role when it comes to this. Top and bottom and mid, of course, like do a lot of things as well. But the jungler really has to be able to go and help people, call out dragons, and just he has to do stuff in the middle the whole time, move around, pretty much all over the board. I mean, you need more experience to do that pretty much.
Yep.
It's a really hard role for people to do.
It is for sure. It's very technical as well. Taking those camps is hard. You have to manage your abilities very well. It's very easy to kind of lose out on it. Here we see Elizabethtown's jungler with the magic damage, and yep, they came in, they saw an opportunity, and they took it. Akiara trying to get some value out of this, but ultimately by remaining stationary there, he set himself up as an easy kill. Again, good money after bad here, I think.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they might get this tower. There's 3 of them going, 2 of them going.
Yeah, I think that's at this health level for the tower, that's true. The only advantage we might see here, if we take a look up here at top lane, notice how far extended Final Bowser has to be just to make progress in this lane. That makes him more vulnerable over time to the enemy jungle and other ganks. As they take our towers, they're going to be more extended. That gives us a chance to make a comeback. With a dragon spawn here, it's not exactly a dragon, but you know what I mean. The team is collapsing. There were some pings there to signal it was time to take this and get some advantages out of it. However, Darius is aware, jungler is aware. Elizabethtown is collapsing to try and push off this attempt to take the camp. That's what I was talking about, Clay. Yes, it can be up, it can be time to take it, but if you all disappear off the map at that exact same time in that area, it's pretty clear what's happening. You're a team fight here. Final Boss Bowser survives, but not for long. Whew, that was quite the fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very far difference now.
Well, when I look at that was a fight that they were taking. They were down levels, they were down gold, and they were down their attack damage carry, who's starting to become increasingly critical in his role in a team fight like that. I'm not sure that's a fight I would have wanted to take.
Looks like they're going to get pretty close to getting this next part, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go, another tower, secondary tier of towers going down. Third tier of towers going down. They are approaching their objective. But, fortunately, we've respawned in Penn Manor. We can push them off here. This is a dangerous fight to take. Respawn time here, it's going to take forever to get back. They don't really have a lot of their own mobs coming, so it's going to be hard for them to really try and push off damage. Yeah. And so they've left. Elizabethtown's left. We see pinging, trying to figure out where they are, possibly taking this camp here. They're somewhere in the jungle. They're not on the map. Here we see that scatter, and yep, probably taking this camp right here. We are now moving as a whole crew here. The whole team moving to position themselves. Trying to start a team fight, hopefully one that's imbalanced. They need eliminations. They need to get these ganks. Now, they have to know that this is happening here. Yep, this might have been a bit of a trick here to bait them in. But, oh, there we go. Finally. Yep, yet another one.
Looks like they're going in as a team, and it's looking like it might cut out for them.
Well, this is really the stage of the fight where they have to be doing that. If they're not moving as a team, they've been getting split apart and pulled apart by the jungle and the shot calling on Elizabethtown's part. If they are letting themselves get into these uneven fights...
Ooh, and it looks like they're going to try to get a dragon as well.
Yep. And with 2 down on Elizabethtown, this is a fight they can win. We're going to lose 1, but this is a highly imbalanced fight. And ultimately, this was a bad move on Elizabethtown's part. Foolishly done. But they're still going to... Still going to be able to take this dragon. There we go.
That's a good thing that they got.
It is, but they lost, what, 2, 3
Yes.
on that? That's rough.
3, 2.
No, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Lost them there for a second.
Whew. Still in the Overwatch kind of a look.
Yeah, right. Pushing off some minions. So as the towers are destroyed, super minions are generated, which deal more damage and push on these towers even harder. We can see that they're almost all the way there. Look at these 2 towers, very low. This is dangerous. They're going to have to pay special attention. See the super minion here? They're going to have to pay special attention to this lane, devoting resources to defending this lane when they should be spending it doing exactly what they just did, hunting down the enemy team, getting objectives, probably this objective at this point, and trying to keep them from making any more advancements that they already have. Oh, here's the enemy team. Elizabethtown is positioning itself for a fight. We are split. So are they.
Very strange.
It looks like they're trying to take our camps.
Trying to...
Here they are.
Yeah, they gotta really watch out if they're split up, because it looks like the Elizabethtown's pretty close to each other now.
Yep, this will be an even fight if they get into that fight, but it is not actually an even fight. We're still looking at characters who are very low in level. They don't have the power to win an even fight here. Yep, here they are. They've moved on to this major objective. And, yep, this is not a fight they want. Final Boss Bowser is baiting them in, trying to pull them back, trying to get them to waste abilities, waste mana. He's trying to pull them off the sides, flanking them,
Final
coming
Boss
in
Bowser's
their
getting...
back.
Oh, it looks like they're gonna get a double kill one here.
There we go.
Maybe they're gonna try to get 3.
With their jungler in the back. This was quite the trade here. We're looking at 3 down on each side. You gotta admire. They're doing a great job of fighting on the back heel here. Some bad decisions from Elizabethtown, causing them to lose fights that they have no reason to lose. However, as I said, there's a lot of pressure on their base. It's gonna make it really hard for them to keep pulling these kinds of comeback moves. Still, they are closing the gap on gold, and that's important. A lot of mana. Final Bowser is being dove upon. Ooh, baited in. Unfortunately, Elizabethtown gets out with their skins intact, but they are able to save Final Boss Bowser, prevent the gold from being lost, keep Final Boss Bowser in the game, and he is critical at this point. He's the highest level. He's been the most effective character for them so far. Party Huntress putting himself out there, getting caught out by the entirety of the enemy team when they're not on the map. Clay, you know, and this is something where game awareness is just so valuable. If you look at the map and you see that they are nowhere to be seen, you just need to assume that they're lurking around the next corner and play that way. Because they were. And so Party Huntress has no way to get out of a bad situation like that. Very little in the way of defense. It's just a bad situation to be in. We see engagement from Final Boss Bowser. This isn't an even fight for them, but it's still one that they can win this close to their spawn. Again, we see the positioning. Party Huntress poking his head out a little bit, a little far ahead of Final Boss Bowser and Warwick, the 2 characters they tend to lead with in their team fights. Just want to be careful. Again, it seems like Elizabethtown has decided that they own this quarter of the map right here, and they are spending a lot of time in there working on objectives and moving again, it looks like, possibly, to this objective. Saw Darius in here. We're just getting a few smaller objectives. Thunderbolt Bowser moving through space. Oh, they are stretched out. If Penn Manor is smart about this, they'll collapse on this scattered team. But it looks like we might be about to get collapsed upon instead. Oh, yep, there it is. Finally.
Trying to get.
Yep. Still, one elimination there makes this uneven now. They're collapsing in. Looks like for Elizabethtown it might be more good money after bad here. That flashed away. Oh, man. Elizabethtown's jungler, so good with the flash. Great at using terrain.
Looks like another dragon. Nope. Yes.
Elizabethtown's loop backed around, tried to collapse like down. Yep, down on Jeriel here. Oof, Jeriel. Just not that effective this game, you know?
When is he effective in a game?
Okay, that's a little mean. Jeriel has played with us a lot on Overwatch as well. We agreed that we would dunk on him a little bit during the cast today. You know, I agree, Zogstar. They really have managed to narrow this goal gap. They're managing to stay competitive, and let's be honest, you know, League of Legends can be a little snowbally. You start winning, League of Legends, yes, it can be a little snowbally. Once you start losing, it's hard to stop. But they are holding on, and the tenacity of Penn Manor is incredible here. However, you gotta admire Wad's PFAT here. he is squirrely. It's hard to get a hold of him. They're struggling.
It looks like Elizabethtown's actually gonna get this dragon.
They are.
Wow.
They were able to turn that situation around. You gotta admire it. Let's see. Final Boss Bowser holding on to some invulnerability here, getting out of a bad situation. It's very hard to take him down. The character's just so strong, so tough. Little ward coming out there. All right. He wants Jeriel. He wants the attack damage carry, and that's not unreasonable. They have to make sure that he doesn't manage to come back up. And there it is. Quick damage from the spell damage character, long range artillery, and the advantage is lost. Final Boss Bowser getting a kill out of that and flashing away. Getting out of the way of the Wad's PFAT here. Just calling him Wads. I don't like this name. Just calling him Wads.
I gotta admit, they're really closing in on that difference as they're playing. Like, there's not as crazy a level difference as there was earlier.
There isn't. I mean, when we look at this, I mean, Final Boss Bowser, 14. No one's excelling that on the other team. Really, our issue is coming into Akiraru and Ash, who's holding down at 10. They're supposed to be leading on
Cannon
levels
was
here.
down like really low compared to that, and he did get himself back up there with everyone.
Those
so
successful
that was
team fights made a big difference, I think. And he definitely needed those. What it comes down to is the jungler relies on getting successful ganks. It wasn't happening for us in the early game. So we've kind of gone back to a bit of a laning phase here. Just continuing to square off. This is a duel I don't think that Party Hunters really wants to take. Or Pretty Hunters, rather. Yep, there it is. Darius, not someone you want to duel unless you've got enough toughness to stick it out. Final Boss Bowser going in on play 2 here.
It's not Party Huntress.
Yeah, it's Pretty Huntress in this. I know, it's very confusing for me.
Very weird. Very different.
Austin switched it up on us. I'm sorry about that, everyone out there in Twitch world. Okay, so this is sort of a slow retreat for Penn Manor. Really just trying to avoid getting into an uneven fight since we're down 1 right now. But we got the respawn now. Pretty Huntress coming back. Sitting on level 12, so not doing too bad here. Final Boss Bowser engaging hard. Really going for that magic damage character who's largely been carrying the team, I think. The eliminations that she's been getting has been amazing. Going around the back. Again, these flanks from Elizabethtown's jungler are fantastic. Really putting a lot of pressure on Jeriel. He just isn't able to stand up under it. Here we go. There's an elimination, but we're down so many now. We're down 3, 4. Can Final Boss Bowser get out of here? I don't think Darius is going to let him. Oh, but a smart little snare there is going to keep Darius from closing in. Taking down a building here. It's possible this could be it. We're looking at a 10k deficit on gold now. They can if Elizabethtown can get a couple more kills here, then that's it. But Final Bowser has been squirrely, difficult to take down. But Warwick is out of position and taken down without getting much value out of it. Elizabethtown is pinging. They want to take this tower. They got to take this tower. They've been getting elimination after elimination, but they're not getting anything out of it. They're dithering in the jungle. They're losing fights they shouldn't lose, and there's an elimination that they shouldn't have had. Clay, they can't seal the deal.
Yeah. It's looking a little rough.
Well, I mean, it's good news for Penn Manor. As long as they fail to seal the deal, there's always a chance to come back.
I mean, they still are pretty late in the game. Enemy team has gotten more of their towers. Really, Penn Manor is just on defense.
They are,
like,
but as long as you're playing
crazily.
defense, you still haven't lost. You know,
Yeah.
I really think that, Zogstar, I think you're right. Last
10-hour
week's
game.
game was right. Last week's game was explosive and ended quickly. I think we saw when Penn Manor was on the back foot, they weren't able to really take advantage of it. But they are playing defense here, and there's power in playing to your base like this. There's power in playing on your side of the map like this. Constantly, we're winning fights we have no right to win, and that's because we're catching them out in bad positioning. It's been fantastic. We see, again, their jungler getting out of position, going for kills. 11 to 15, though, on levels here. I don't think Warwick's going to be... Oh, he was caught. That's it. I don't think he gets out of this.
Another dragon has spawned. Looks like they're going to go for that one as well.
Cannon is done. And, ooh, they're going for pretty huntress here.
Now, Lloyd, do you know what happens when they get 4 dragons?
Tell me what happens when they get the 4th dragon.
Well, when they get all 4 dragons, there's more of a boost than usual. It really helps the team that has it. So, like, as of right now, they have 4.
Right.
So they're going to have, like, ridiculous amount.
So I think when we look at, like, Elizabethtown, right, and they've been able to close the deal here and just, take our base. I think with those kinds of buffs, they might feel confident about their ability to come in and finally kind of seal this up. Final Boss Bowser coming from behind. Going to try and take out their backline, but it might be too late. Losing a ton of health for Akiaru here. Cannon is down again. Final Boss Bowser trying to put the damage out. And Final Boss Bowser, one-man army trying to defend their base all alone here at this point. But that is going to be it. That is victory to Elizabethtown for the first of best 2 out of 3 match. So let's take a look at these stats here. What are you seeing here?
I'm
Clay?
seeing a lot better stats than last week.
Right.
Looks like they played a little bit better than they did last time. The game was definitely a lot longer.
Right.
They actually got kills this time. Last week, first round, only the enemy team got kills.
Oof, rough.
It was pretty rough. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're looking here, I mean, like 11 to 1, 1, 8, 14, 8, 9. I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
those
you're
ratios are
right,
wrong.
Zogstar. Even though it was a loss, it was a very long game.
They put up a fight, and that matters, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing League of Legends, it's it can be a very long game. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think making it long in this case was a matter of Penn Manor coming back and fighting hard to the very end, and that is important. Okay, so that was game 1. Penn Manor's going to regroup, going to kind of discuss what happened there, strategize around the next match. We will be back in a little bit. I'm actually going to be stepping out, so another coach in the program, Mr. Nick Joniak, is going to be joining us with Clay and casting for the next game. Thank you so much, and yeah, stick with us.
Okay, so we were back for round 2 against Elizabethtown Area High School. Joining me, I have Clay again, as well as Austin.
yes.
So a little bit of backstory. Austin normally is a starting player for our league team, But this time around, we have swapped in Owen. So, give us a little backstory here on what we're looking at, who picked what.
All right, so for top lane, we have Vladimir for Owen. Owen has played a lot of Vladimir throughout the season. I think that he's probably going to do pretty well. And the jungle lane, we have Olaf for Jared. And Jared is running Smite as a traditional jungle should always run. Olaf, I don't know much about Olaf. All I know is that he's big and tanky. And that's what we need right now, especially how we didn't have much. We didn't have anything against their ADC. We were always getting hit hard, so we're probably going for like more of a tanky build. In mid lane we have Katarina. She is a quick dashing assassin, probably gonna be really good for late game.
Yeah.
And then bot lane ADC, we're gonna have Jeriel play Ezreal. He's gonna be running flash and heal. Ezreal is. I haven't seen Jeriel play a lot of Ezreal. He's more of the newer champions that he's picked up recently. I think last few games he was actually doing pretty well on Ezreal, so I think this game would be pretty great. And then for support, we have Julie playing Senna. Senna is a great shielding support for us. We'll really need that throughout the game.
All right, looks like we're getting in. So you were in the last game. What do you think your team needs to do in order to win this one? You guys did hold them for a long time at the end there.
Well, what I think we could probably do to like win this game, probably last game we should probably build more of an armor build instead of an ADC build, but that was probably because their ADC got buffed pretty well. Yeah, so what we probably could have done was build more shield and armor than damage and ability power. So right off the bat, we can see that the support ADC and jungler are going for blue buff right away.
Yeah, I think a really hard thing with your team is the jungle, and I mean, you guys really need to work on that and who's there. It's really hard for you guys, and the other enemy team really gets a lead on you guys every single time with that, just because they get the first kill and they get the first dragon. And then after that, it just starts going downhill, and it's just really hard for you guys to come back after that.
Yeah, I think if we want to fix that problem, we should probably. I know I do this a lot, and so does Owen. We need to start warding the bushes in case of incoming jungle attacks, because we don't see what's behind the bushes. They can be coming from anywhere, and we won't see them. So if we start playing down more wards and bushes, we can see incoming attacks, and we can call out incoming attacks from other lanes. That'd be really helpful for us.
So, as we're over here, we're looking at Massacre.
Yeah. Vladimir is a unique kind of champion. He sucks the life out of enemies and gives himself his own health.
Kind of like,
So that's a lifesteal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a lifesteal top laner. Golly, creepy.
oh, looks like we might. Oh no, he's gonna retreat down back to his
Massacre
tower.
almost getting killed by the enemy jungler. Hopefully
They
he called
gotta
it out
really
to
watch
his
out
mid
for
lane.
that because he's probably like right down here again, waiting.
What we need to do right now is we need to make sure that the mid laner does not get ganked by the jungler, because we know that he was from top going to bot side. Right now, Alex is doing really good in farm. He almost got the kill off of Ari. He did a lot of damage on her, forcing her to either recall or play passively at tower. He's going up to top side, looks like, or he's going to ward. He's going to ward. See, that's what we need to do more often. We need to start warding in places so we can prepare for incoming attacks.
The final boss, Bowser, which is played by
Alex,
Alex. He did really good last game.
you did.
He kept top lane going. He actually got a tower up there, which was really good. He was also the highest level player in the game, like almost the whole time, which was pretty good for you guys. I think the problem with you guys is your jungler isn't getting levels enough. Like, you guys were in the beginning of the game, he was at like 6 when the enemy team was at like 10.
Well,
And he just kept dying because of that.
I agree that he needs to work more on farm, but we set like a little rule for him that he cannot like leave the jungle until he's level 6. So that's kind of our fault for letting him do that, but it's kind of hard for him to get experience when he's not able to leave the jungle. But right now he's doing an
It's
okay
looking
job.
he might die. And at least the enemy team didn't really, I mean, they kind of
Yes.
benefited from him dying, but they didn't benefit gold-wise from him.
They didn't get
Well, I
benefit
mean,
from experience or
Yeah. But it looks like the enemy team does have more gold this time around again. So, looks like Penn Manor's going to really need to go up with that one.
a gank on mid was just happening there. It was a good ward that that Alex played down earlier, but since it came from the other side, it wasn't really as helpful. As on top lane right now, or bot lane, they're pushed back pretty far. They're not able to get as much value as they can at holding tower, but they are playing safe though, which is good. Which is what they need.
Looks
We can
have
see that they're all
3.
grouping up in the bot side jungle for an enemy kill.
And
First
there they
blood
they
from
got one.
Alex.
That was good. That was really good for them. Actually, the first time you've ever got first blood, unless we count Jared, our cannon, going down in the beginning.
I don't think we should.
Yeah, I think we'll count you guys getting first blood for the first time. So that was an improvement compared to the last game. So how long does it take for like a dragon to spawn in for the first time?
Pretty sure it's at minute 10.
Actually, I think there is one in
Is
right
that
now.
the timers down there in the bottom corner?
Actually, there is a dragon in at the
Oh
moment.
wait, it's minute 5. That's what dragon is.
Yeah.
What are those timers over there, the objective timers? that
Yeah,
you mouse
yeah.
over?
So to the right of the screen, there's objective timers over right above the board, and those are indicating some stuff. Now it looks like no one's really worrying about the dragon as of now.
They do have a ward on it, so they're planning on going for it later, just not now because they're very inexperienced right now. They need to level up before they're able to go in for a dragon.
Gotcha. Once again, it's looking like Penn Manor's trying to get some picks off if they can, possible. Actually, it looks like they're holding their own pretty well compared to the last game with who they're playing this time.
Yes. I only asked to go for top because I saw Jared was going up for top. I thought he might have been going for a gank there.
Yeah, he's sitting right over here trying to get some level 4 once again. Hard for your jungler to get some levels.
Owen is doing a good job at keeping the enemies at bay. He's playing pretty passively, which is what we need him to play right now. Because before, like when we first started, he was always aggressive, wanting to kill the enemy champion before anything else. And then he ultimately dies at the end. But ooh, a kill
Yeah.
from Ari onto Alex. Unfortunate. Right now we're tied 1-1.
I'm like dark.
It looks like they're grouping up on bot side to either push the enemies out of bot lane so they can get dragon, or to gain a kill. Either way, they're gaining control of this. Yes, as of right now, Jared, he got stunned. He hit her, which is a stun ability, and then he got hit with the stun. So there's no follow up after that, unfortunately.
I'm loving the chat right now. Actually amazing.
Ooh, a gank on top lane. Good flash from Massacre.
Yeah,
Would have led in a death
It
there.
looks like during this Legal Legends game, we're actually doing pretty good with it. I'm really liking Penn Manor this time around. They're actually holding their own in the beginning of the game. They actually are not as bad as last time around. The gold difference isn't as much.
No, it looks like we're going for, what is that? Regular.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Austin, when does it make sense to start like slaying the dragon? So you get a lot of gain and XP.
We gain.
Gold and XP.
So basically, I'm pretty sure, I don't know the exact numbers, but we gain gold and a little bit XP, but most importantly, we gain buffs. So each dragon has their own unique kind of buff that lasts for a certain amount of time. Right now is the Cloud Drake, which I'm pretty sure it gives us a mana regain bonus. The Inferno Dragon gives us attack bonus. Mountain Drake gives us armor bonus, and the Water Drake gives us
So what happens when you have all four?
once you gain all four, it doesn't have to be the same dragon. It could be like 2 of the same dragon or whatnot. Once you have 4 dragons in total, it will be the there's a super dragon. I forget the name of it, but a big dragon will come and anyone can capture it, can kill it and gain its buff. But pretty much once you gain that dragon, once you hit below a certain amount of health, you automatically get executed, which will be very helpful. It is very useful in every team fight.
So you had said that you do get the buffs from the dragon, and you can kind of stack them. How long does it last? Does that last all game after you do it? Or?
I'm not completely sure about the dragons in total. I see Alex at left mid lane to go help bot lane or jungle. Alright, or bot lane or mid or dragon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry about the audio. There's 3 of us, and we're only actually using 1 mic. So if somebody wouldn't have taken it, Zogstar, maybe we would actually have some good audio. Thanks.
You can see a trap coming in from Alex onto the enemy jungler. Alex goes in for the kill, gets it, follow up onto the Ahri. Not coming up. He's going to help defend his team. Unfortunate kill from Jared.
Yeah, I don't know why he was running after him with such low health like that. That was kind of weird.
They should be able to get this 1 kill if they all group up, which they're splitting up for different people.
Yeah, looks like we're on 4 minutes for next dragon to spawn.
I think this is a lost fight from us unless we can somehow make it.
I actually don't know how that fight was lost. There was more of them. I don't know how that happened and went down. They shouldn't have split up. They should have just went off for 1 person or something, try to pick them off.
Yeah, what they should have done there was instead of like splitting up into like different sections, like I saw Vladimir go onto the bot side while other people were going from the river side onto the bot side. Like they should have been grouped up on targeting 1 person that time, which unfortunately they were not able to. The top laner is doing a lot of damage onto the top side tower. Not good for us. Jared is getting poked at from the enemy jungler. Hopefully he calls out that he's going bot side.
They gotta really watch out there. Actually, all 3 of them could maybe actually pick him off if they would actually go around and get him. Once again, Cannon trying to get levels. still a little low on the blue side compared to everyone.
The Sunna went in for an ult there, a little prematurely though. They're still at the tower, not pushing in after it.
We definitely need some more guys.
He's got another one that's upstairs. But by the time I get That's fine. When it gets quiet, all you hear is the frantic clicking.
Jared is hanging around the Rift Herald. He's probably planning toward it, and all other teams probably gonna form up and get the Herald soon, hopefully.
So we're seeing there's about a 4K difference in gold right now. So what does that make when it comes to like items and that, Austin?
Well, 1,000 gold by itself is a huge difference, but this is altogether gold. I mean, I can see that they're building a lot of attack damage, and so is our team, but they have better stuff as of we do right now. The top, what's most important with gold is that you mostly gain your gold from killing minions. As we can see, the top laner has more minion kills than the other top laner does, 103 to 43, which means that he's gaining more gold than our top laner, along with our the mid laner. But the mid laner is actually doing fairly well on minion kills with 73 to 76. But then again, like I said before, we're not doing so good on minion kills, which is leaving us behind in gold pretty much, which is going to hinder us late game.
Now this game is looking a little bit closer, of course, than
Yes.
Even last round, right? The only thing is, they're really going for your low-level people as much as possible, and low levels are just chasing after. Shouldn't be doing that. Should be going back, trying to get help. It's a really hard time for your team with that, especially with some newer kind of people playing as well.
Indeed. Yeah, but I think with Jared, he should probably either ping that he's coming down to gank, or at least tell the team with microphones that he's going down, because I feel like he keeps going down blindly and using his ability and hoping that he gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, another dragon spawned, actually, I believe.
Indeed.
Yes.
We do have a ward on the dragon as of right now. Ooh, that is very unfortunate. I think that their jungler is pretty fed right now, or their bot lane is pretty fed right now, because he just annihilated Katarina, which is not normally what's supposed to happen. He's going in for a second kill. He gets it. A third kill. He does not get it. He does get it. So what they should be doing right now is looking at his item build, which is currently lifesteal and movement speed right now, which is pretty good for him. We need to probably build like either armor or more AP, which stands for ability power. It's minute 17 right now. We should probably be doing more objectives right now, because once it hits minute 15, minute 10 or 15, we start doing more objectives.
I get the button for my Zanyas and I didn't have Zanyas.
Yeah, we should probably start doing more objectives now, especially with the current situation of gold and kills right now.
I hate to see it happen, but at least I popped off. Go get it, Julie.
It looks like the enemies are forming up to all go mid. There's 3 people on mid side right now. Yeah, they're all grouping up on mid to have a huge team clash going on right now. That was a good kill from Alex. We're all going for a team fight here. No, Jared picks another one. They're going in for a third kill. They're going to go for Dragon. They're setting up for Dragon right now. The only two people that can contest are in top lane. They get the Dragon, which is a huge benefit for us. Incoming attack from the enemy jungler. He's not gonna be able to do anything though, as it is a 4v1 situation. They all group up to push the mid tower to get closer to the enemy nexus. As a fight comes breaking down, Senna uses her ult to shield her teammates. They are retreating back to the tower to hopefully recall and regroup and have a big push go down. Instead of recalling, they're actually playing passively, so they do not take their tower, for they want to keep their tower for recalls. Or, ooh, Ezreal with the kill. They're gonna. The enemies are pushing in pretty far. Jared out of position, gets killed. The enemies are kiting their tower. Senna is shielding her teammates, giving them a health bonus. And yes, our CC is very low for Penn Manor. Low CC means low gold, as you can see, 31k to 25k. Alex with a kill, going in for a second kill and getting a third kill. Oh, only 2 kills before dying.
They're carrying.
They are carrying.
Huh? Hello, I am Alyssa. I am from the Overwatch team. I am the carrier from yesterday's match. We won because of me.
Yes.
As you can tell, there's a league game happening. And I'm gonna go home now. Goodbye, though. I see.
Yes, Alyssa was a huge carry in our last game. I'm pretty sure she had an ace last game, and she carried us all the way to finals. I'm kidding. She didn't even play. She doesn't even play League. Jared in the jungle, getting found by the enemy jungler. He's probably not going to survive this ambush. He does, and the enemy jungler is going to push their their blue buff. Everyone is on mid lane except for Owen. Right now he's up on top lane getting CC because he's running low. He gets found by the enemy top laner. He will go down to the hands of him.
Okay, so they've taken 4 shards now.
Yes, they have unfortunately taken top flower. Alex, Senna get caught out by the enemy Ahri. She gets slain. We are down 3 to 5. Dang. Alex going in for an ult. Double kill. Going in for a triple. Uses Zanya's hourglass to save his life. Jared pushing in, even though he's probably going to die. Good idea to recall, to fall back. Jared should be going for a red buff here. Instead, goes for the enemy top laner to support Owen in the kill. No, goes for red buff. Jared almost dies by red buff. And instead dies by the top laner instead of dying by red buff. He is rooted. They should probably all form in on him. They need to be careful though, because all the enemies could be in that jungle waiting and it could be a trap all along. Alex gets a kill. They're probably setting up for the Baron right now, as they have a ward on it, and they have eyes on. They probably have. They're in top lane right now, top side jungle. They should be going for Baron or setting up for a mid lane push. They notice that the enemies are in their bot side jungle. Hopefully, they should be forming up to have a team fight down there. What is Lisa doing? I don't know. The enemies have taken the red dragon, so now they are going to have a increased attack damage throughout the game. As I can see, they are all grouped up on top side jungle to probably take out the Baron.
I didn't realize that. It shows you what dragon buffs they have there up there at the top. That's cool.
Yes. The Ari used her E, which is a charm, which pulls enemies into her, which also increases the damage they take for the duration they are charmed. The enemies have no control over damage or movement speed, which is a very useful ability for Ari. They need to keep an eye out for that if they want to win fights. They get ambushed by the enemy jungler, gets 2 picks off, make it a 3rd pick. Senna uses her ultimate to keep his final Bowser alive. It looks like the enemies are going to take the mid lane tower. Alex goes in for a kill, uses Zanya's hourglass to save his life, goes in for the attack, gets a kill, gets a 2nd kill, but dies unfortunately. Ari gets an ace, and she's probably going to recall right now to buy more items.
So to be honest with you, get a ward on.
Not much to say right now, but we aren't doing. Herzog, can you do something with this kid?
I'm gonna get on.
Owen is farming top lane once again. Hopefully he learned from his lesson last time that he doesn't get ganked by the enemy top laner. He does set a ward so he does not get ganked, which is a very good idea. All the enemies are pushing mid lane, so hopefully he finishes up his minion killing and heads down soon. Alex goes in for the attack on him. He gets the kill. Owen gets hit and killed by the enemy top laner. They are all in the mid lane, having a huge team fight clash out. The Penn Manor is falling back to their tower, hopefully pushing in with the minion wave. Penn Manor can see that the enemy jungler and the top laner is in topside jungle, so they should prepare for an ambush coming in. Right now, he gets a kill, but then again, Alex shuts him down right away. Alex goes in for the attack as he knew they were in the bush. He uses Zanya's hourglass after he gets the first kill. He dashes out to save his own life. Jared gets picked off by top laner. And Alex gets finished off. Last one alive is Senna.
He can run through the walls.
Just read the chat. I don't see the whole chat history.
Hopefully Owen learned his lesson about going topside, as we can see that he is pushed down bot lane to help with the push on minion wave. We cannot turn off Fog of War because it is currently a live stream, and if we turn that off, then that'll pretty much be cheating. We can see that they're setting up for Dragon, as he'll be ready in 15 seconds. Senna getting ulted and dies before they can set up. Penn Manor is in bot side jungle, pushing up into their jungle. Alex uses his ultimate, gets a kill, but ultimately gets shut down again. Jared is way too far out of position. He might be going in for a smite if the enemies go for a push right now. Oh, you banned him. Jared is actually hanging around the dragon, hopefully stealing the dragon with his smite ability. Let's hope he doesn't miss it. He does not get it. And he's going to die by the enemy jungler. They know that the enemy Ahri is in topside, so they're probably going to regroup along and push her out of the topside jungle before they gain the topside tower. Ahri is actually rotated down to bot side along with her teammates. They could be looking in for an ambush here. Owen gets charmed and almost dies before he saves himself.
Are you saying that Alex got to play ADC again?
Yeah, we probably should tell him to get some boots because even I know you need boots on every champion. The enemies have built a lot of AP throughout the game. We have a lot of defensive items such as armor and Zanya's. And this looks like the final push is happening right here. We are looking for a loss right now. They get an ace. They're going to take our inhibitor, and then eventually the towers, and then the nexus. This looks like a good game.